welcome back to the Wimbo NG podcast. I don't know what episode we're on, but we're clicking along. I'm just going to remind you that what we do at Wimbo NG is I'm a student pastor, Garrett's a student pastor, and we take real questions from our students and answer them from a biblical worldview. So it's good to be back together again. How's everything going with you?
Going great. Been doing well. Everybody's healthy.
Church good?
Church is great. I mean, last night I was really excited. We almost hit our pre-Rona number.
Okay.
So we're getting there. How about y'all?
That's good. Slowly but surely, man. We started a second service on Sunday morning at 8
That's
o'clock, and it's a bit of an adjustment, but it's going really good.
Do you have to be at both of them?
I do have to be at both of them.
All right.
Yes, I do. So, yep, dealing with a lot of water. Dealing with a lot of water lately.
17 inches.
Man, the basement at Bethany flooded, but praise be to God, we got a lot of dudes who pitched in and pumped that out, and so we're good and dry over there.
Mold free, so there you go.
Mold free,
All right.
as far as we know. So got a fall retreat coming up.
Man, I'm telling you, there's not
Man.
one event that I look forward more to our retreat together.
Yeah.
All of our kids come together. It's a lot of fun.
Right, so in the fall we do a weekend at the beach, Bethany, Carolina combined, and it's really cool to see the kids.
I personally hate the beach,
together.
but when we're there with our retreat, it's okay. I love it.
As weird as this sounds, I like the beach better when it's starting to get a little cool and when
Yeah.
it's not blazing hot.
And
outside.
everybody's not like naked on the beach.
That's true, which is an issue.
Yeah.
Which is an issue.
So-
Speaking of that issue.
Yeah, like this past summer we were at the beach at Pier Park, and a group of my girls were walking ahead of me, and me and my wife and some of the other youth was behind. We were going to get ice cream. I think it's Marble Slab or whatever the
man, it's
ice
good.
cream place
It's like
is.
an ice cream meal, man.
It
You
is
gotta
awesome.
Chew that stuff.
I actually got New York cheesecake.
Mm.
But anyway, so this group of guys were standing there, and as our girls walked by, the group of guys started yelling obscenities and stuff to our girls and making comments about the way they look and their body and stuff like that. And our girls were really upset. And I think you've had this question before too.
Yeah, so that's the heart of our question from a girl here is how do I maintain my Christian witness and be nice, but also deal with the fact that guys are hollering at me, they're saying, hey girl, yelling inappropriate things, they're messaging me on Snapchat and Instagram, being very inappropriate, pushy, and so how do you handle that? So it messed her up, huh? When
Yeah,
she got those
she was
comments?
upset
I mean, I
about
can't
that.
imagine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to feel
And I didn't
awkward.
tell you what they said because it's very inappropriate.
Yeah.
But, I personally want them to bash their face in.
Yeah.
Because my girls are like my little sisters.
That's
I
right.
protect my
That's
girls.
right.
And but how do we deal with that? And God's called all of us, if we're Christians, we're the temple of God. Our bodies are the temple of God. And, we don't want people yelling stuff at us and saying stuff to us and being inappropriate. I mean, just absolutely. You got any thoughts on that?
Well, man, I don't know. Like, how do you respond to that? Do you say, no, thank you, have a good day, or do you give it back to them, or do you just ignore them and not give them the time of day whatsoever?
I personally think if I had to, address this, I personally think that what you do is you ignore it, and if they're they're sending you a DM or they're doing things like that, I think you just ignore it. Our girls just ignored it. They kept on walking. They acted like they didn't hear it, and then when we finally all called up, they told me about it and said that it had made them uncomfortable. I think you ignore it. A lot of the times, if you ignore these things, the guys are going to be like, oh, they're not interested.
That's true.
But one thing you don't want to do ever is you don't want to feed it in any way.
That's right. You don't want to, in the spirit of niceness,
Yes.
give them mixed signals.
Yes.
That's not what you want to do.
Because if you feed it, it's just going to keep growing.
That's
and growing
right.
and growing.
That's right.
So,
I mean, if you give the guy a chance or the idea that he may have a chance, well, he's not going to back down.
and girls, this is to my girls. I mean, you got 2 daughters. I got a daughter recently.
Got 2
Thank
daughters,
you, Jesus.
yeah. Praise the Lord.
And you may have another daughter soon. But,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Here's one thing you don't want. Girls, listen to when we say this. The guys that are hollering at you like that, the guys that are hitting on you and being inappropriate, listen, they're not the kind of guys you want to date.
That's right. That's right.
Like, they're not marriage material.
Unless God's grace changes
Yeah,
them,
absolutely.
they're going nowhere.
And
as
listen,
far as, they are.
Absolutely. And you need to be careful. Like, listen, that's not God. You may think, well, maybe God's laid me on that guy's heart, and that's why he's hitting my DM up. No.
No.
Okay.
No.
You know, if you're a young teenager, middle schooler, I'm not going to tell you when you can and can't date. That's your parents' deal. But you know, if you can't, I've heard the saying, if you can't see yourself marrying within the next 2 to 3 years, mainly, don't even date. Just be friends with
That's
guys,
right.
and
I
go
agree.
out and
I agree.
do that. And listen, if this begins to be a problem, I had a student years and years and years ago that had a guy that continuously sent her a text and said, "Hey, send me some naked pictures," over and over and over. And we had talked about this. This is causing a lot of problems for her. And you know, we talked about, hey, look, you need to tell your parents. You need to get your parents involved. And finally, one night, about 10 o'clock, this girl sent my wife a text and said, "Look, this is the text he just sent." And, you know, we took it to their parents. And, you know, the parents dealt with it, everybody's fine now. You know, it moved on. That situation moved on. But, you know, just be, you know, if it's putting you in a bad situation or it's making you feel uncomfortable or it's doing something to your self-esteem or anything like that, consult an adult.
That's right.
If you're a girl, go to Miss Brittany, go to your youth pastor's wife, go to Amy, all those different things. Say, look, this guy is making me really uncomfortable and he won't stop. And, you know, there's something you can do.
Yeah.
We made a joke yesterday at lunch. If somebody keeps texting you these aggravating things, just send all caps stop, like you did with text. And, you know, if he continues to do that after you tell him to stop, there's a problem, and it needs to be addressed. And
Sure.
maybe you need to talk to your youth pastor about that, or, you know, go to your parents first. That would be my first stop. And say, hey, look, this guy, he's just probably trying to be nice, but he won't stop. Okay? So don't feed the beast.
Do not feed the beast. There's a way to be Christian, holy, nice, without feeding the beast. And there's absolutely nothing unchristian about having hard boundaries in your life.
Absolutely.
You know, and say, no, I'm not gonna feed this. Not gonna text this.
Not going to follow that.
Not gonna go with that.
So we hope that answers your question. We look forward to some more.
That's right.